Hello, my dear friends. How are you all doing? Today we're gonna be having a look, as always, at the what's this crap called? Oh, higher quality, the exact way that I like it. We're gonna be having a look here at the MC6 Masters Coliseum 6, which I'm getting the clean feed from. I'm sorry for being a bit late. As you can see, we're here in game 2 of Lambo versus Cure. But as always, I had some very important things to do that couldn't wait. My dog got sick, or has been sick for a while now, so we had to take him to the vet. And as veterinarians work at normal human times, it had to be during the middle of the day, during the Masters Coliseum, of course. So, yeah, that was very sad for both me, the dog, as well as for everyone that was looking forward to me casting the games of the Masters Coliseum. Yesterday we had a fantastic time. Today we're gonna have a fantastic time again. Please tell me if the sound levels here are okay. You stink so bad. It's impressive that you can smell me all the way from whatever country you live in. Have a shower, Kevin? You are awfully rude. It's not very nice at all. I don't understand why you would do that. See, all the other people just open with a regular hello and you say you stink so bad. Well, it is obvious that you cannot smell me because I am in my room by myself. I hope, at least. If you're hiding behind my couch or you're stuck in my closet, now would be a good time to make yourself known. Yeah, so I'm sorry for being a bit late, but the dog always has the priority in life. I also slept very little last night. The dog had to get out of bed to, you know, do some business outside. It is freaking heartbreaking, man, to see because my dog in particular is very stupid as well. He's a beagle. These guys have literally a negative brain. Oh, this also looks real bad for Lambo, by the way. He's just getting destroyed here by the initial 3 Reaper opener. Up here, he's already down 1-0. He's continuing to take damage and more damage and more damage and more damage. Try to play gasless as that didn't entirely work out, although losing 3 workers when playing gasless is maybe not the end of the world. The problem is that it hasn't ended yet. Like, this is going to continue for a while. Lambo's losing a lot of mining time here. Sound levels are just fine. Okay, I'm glad to hear that, my friend. I need to be really quick in the breaks. So the way that it's happening right now is that I have a live feed over here, and in the breaks, for whatever reason, they play music that I believe is copyrighted. This is playing Russian roulette with my YouTube channel right now. So I have my finger, you know, on the button to mute the sounds of the tab that it's coming in with. The moment the game ends, if I don't click it quick enough, my channel will be gone within a couple of days, my friend. So it is exciting in multiple ways. Is the payoff going to be worth it? Most definitely not. But I wanted to watch my good friend Lambo play some games here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. All right. Let's have a look. What are we doing over here? Overlord gets popped. 52 workers to 33. As it looks to me, now I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past, although not very often. Just every now and again, you know, I'm wrong again. It looks to me as if this is going to be some type of a hellbat attack with Stim Marines as well, which is interesting to see. Because that's going to be very all-in. Bailing Nest will be too late to deal with that. 8 more drones coming in as well. Viking popping off on top of that. Stim is about to finish up as Speed finishes here too. This is going to be extremely all-in, despite there being a 3rd base here out of Cure. If Cure does not get a lot of damage with this, I think he's actually not going to be capable of getting back into the game. Lambo's build order was very greedy, and if he doesn't get punished for it within the next 15 seconds, I think he's going to win. Massive supply block for Lambo as he's 82 out of 82. Loses another Overlord here. It's going to make matters much, much worse. 5 OVs on the way all at the same time. Drones move away from the 3rd base location. Cure stims in. So Sport tries to buy some time. 8 Banelings get morphed. They're barely going to be in range of this army. This is so important. If these Banelings had been a little bit further back, I think Lambo might have been capable of doing it. 1, 2, 3 Banes might finish up. Here we go to connect with some of the Hellbats with the Marines for now. Stay alive. Queen's still here as well. Lynx coming in from the back. And despite Lambo with a massive supply block, I think he cleans this up eventually. There's queens still here. Medevac's have disappeared. Cure only killed 4 drones. And honestly, well, it doesn't look great for Lambo, but upgrades, neither player has them. That's good. There's only 2 barracks production right now for Cure, so that means that Lambo can really drone up safely to 66, maybe even get a 4th base going here and move into the Mutalisk, which is definitely what he wants to play for with that Spire that's coming out now. Does look like Cure has another plan of moving out and attacking with this. It's just continuing to build more and more Hellions that makes this more all-in. Hellions are very mineral intensive. So the more Hellions you build, the later your 4CC is going to be, generally as a rule. 11 more drones are on the way right now. Lambo wanted to get to that higher Baneling, or that higher drone count. Right now needs to desperately morph in some Banes. Look at that queen count as well, though. That's what, 8, 9 queens over here. 10 drones do go down. That's a lot of drones falling at a rapid pace. Once again, the queens will hold just by themselves. Something's happening in the main base, but this observer has decided not to show us what. Okay, that was a mine drop. I guess that mine drop is perhaps responsible for the majority of those kills. We can't quite see how many kills they had. I had 4 kills on this mine. I had to move my massive face around a little bit there. My apologies. Maybe put myself over here. Maybe I make myself a bit smaller. Look at this. Too professional. All right, there we go. Another mine shot goes off as 5 more drones will fall. And Lambo, despite having an absolutely, honestly, an awful experience so far in this game, is still only down 20 supply. Has 7 Muras on the way. The problem here being there's no Evo chamber. There's a 4th base already coming up for Cure. 4th hatch is also done for Lambo, though. I think he'll need to deal some massive damage with these Muras. If he does not get the damage done, Lambo's in a world of trouble. Absolute facts. Oh boy. These mines are going to be taken out, so the Muras do get spotted ahead of time. That's nice. Medevac will get taken out. Lambo's going to have some security right now. He has Baneling speed. He has a bunch of Banelings out. I actually think Cure is going a little bit too deep here. Lambo wants to take this out. No, he doesn't want to. This is off creep after all. Lambo's moving in towards the main base with those Muras. I really think the only thing that our German Zerg can do right now is just mass Muras, don't get any upgrades, and then pray that your opponent attacks too aggressively. You clean it up, you counterattack, and you win. Because honestly, down 20 workers, there's no other solution here to these problems. This army is going to get cleaned up, or at least be forced back. Lambo's going to chase off creep. Heldet gets taken out. Medevac's under some heavy pressure as well. Mines now showing up. They're going to be very vital in this defense. Blitz, honestly, fairly mediocre. Still most likely good enough, though, as Cure is extremely far ahead right now. We have more and more Mutas, more and more Lings on the way as well. Still no 1-1, no Evo chambers. Lambo knows that his only chance is going to be with a 0-0 Lingbane Muta push. As the stream starts to lag. Oh, there we go. Pneumatized Carapace on the way as well over here. I'm not quite sure why that is the case. Perhaps for Overseer speed. The Muta count continues to grow. We haven't seen a drone being built in quite a while. That's interesting. Piss off. Move back. Hop, hop, hop. Very nice little, what you call that, sacrifice there out of those 2 Lings. Forcing 1 mine to detonate. This is a beautiful position that Lambo is taking here. It's kind of a bait. Cure wants to chase these Mutas. These Banelings are about to finish up. Let's go! Umburo! Oh no! Cure forgets to control his army there for about 4 seconds. He's going to lose a lot of units, but it won't be enough as Lambo gets taken out. That was very close. So that's the copyright music that they play right after, and then they play more copyright music right in the middle. It is absolutely insane. I am not sure why they do this. I completely forgot that I had to close that down. But I think I've done an okay job for now. Good lord, that's scary, man. I definitely need to keep an eye on that. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll move this thing. Next match is going to be Dark versus Cyan. Then we get Ryung versus Cure. That's a TVT, a TVZ, then a ZVZ. Then Cure versus Cyan as well. This group continues tomorrow. Lambo lost to Dark 1-2. Ryung beat DRG 2-1 apparently. I haven't seen any of these results yet, so this is all fairly bad. I wonder maybe if I can weasel my way in onto the Korean server, but maybe we'll stick with it like this. When did the tourney start? Is it live? So we can have a, if you want, even if you don't want, we can have a look at it, honestly. That is the way it is. So there's going to be some spoilers here. If you haven't seen any of these groups yet, now might be a good time to temporarily tune out. So we'll hop over to the Liquipedia in 3, 2, 1. You still have some time? Boom, spoiled. So this is the tournament over here. It is called the Masters Colosseum. People keep telling me that it is misspelled, but actually it isn't misspelled. This is just the spelling of the Colosseum. If it isn't a Colosseum that was built in the Roman Empire, I think it was. That's the definition. You know, the different spellings for different meanings. English commentators, look over here. Harstem, I'm the #1 English commentator. Is it maybe because it's alphabetically? Probably, but I like to think they put it like this because I'm the coolest. What else do we have over here? So yeah, this is the first prize, is 16 grand. It's an online tournament, it's not bad. 3,000 Chinese yen, 41,000 in total. And yesterday's Group A, and the day before as well, was August 22 and August 23. And we saw Cyril, Maru, and well, Maru barely making it through, as MaxPax had a banger of a game here. Oh man, this was so close. This was so tight, this entire group. Trigger last place, Gumiho 5th place, Showtime 4th, Maru, MaxPax, Cyril 10-0 in this group. This was the group of death, and Cyril got out, honestly, kind of easily. It's impressive the things that this man is capable of doing. Right now, we're in Group D, which consists of Ryung, Dark Cure, Cyan, Lambo, and DRG. And then tomorrow we have the second part of Group D. August 26, we have Group C. August 27, we have Group C. August 28, Group B. And August 29, Group B as well. So lots and lots of StarCraft 2. Sadly, this is still being played, well, on the current patch. I would have loved to see some bangers, you know, being played on the proposed balance changes. I've been having an absolutely good time playing this. I watched a game today that I've casted for my second channel between Showtime and Clam. Oh, boys, the Cyclone, this unit is something else. Like, oh, it's a mech game to start. Freaking mech, man. It actually looks freaking fun. Let me see if I can message some people to play some games. I'll ask Baby Marine. I'm gonna play some games on Balanced Test Mod and new patch in an hour or two. This feels like a bonus stream. Well, technically it is a bonus stream. The reason that it is a bonus stream, I mentioned it before already. I was supposed to be here earlier today. We missed 2 series entirely, and then the start of Cure versus Lambo is because my dog is sick. So I had to take him to the vet last night. So I didn't sleep. Why? Freaking hell. Dog had to go outside to poop every 5 minutes. Well, every 30 minutes or so. So me and my wife alternated between who would get up to take him out. But it just meant that, you know, you sleep because you know something is wrong. Even when you are sleeping, it's not comfortable. And it's been like this for a couple of days. So I'm starting to become a little bit delusional. The other day I thought I saw a hallucination of a tiger, but it was just a cat. It went very fast through my vision. And last night as well, I was like I'm so tired. Holy crap. It's awful how bad you feel when you're tired. It's absolutely crazy. Like, this is the one thing. I can go without food and it's okay, you know, for quite a while. But without sleep, I can't even go one night without sleep. Like, I turn into a freaking wreck immediately, like just overnight. And now it's been 3 days of pretty mediocre sleep. I slept in a little bit. My wife had to work very early. I mean, I make my own time. So I stayed until like 11 or so. I got like 3.5 hours of solid sleep. But yeah, I feel like a wreck, man. Then we had to take him to the vet today as well. And like, good Lord. It's freaking difficult, this stuff. Okay, next match is going to be Cyan versus Dark. A lot of people will think about that as like kind of a walkover, which won't be great. Yeah, the dog is okay. He's just pooping himself the entire time. But it's not a stomach bug. But he's had diarrhea for weeks now. So we had to get some blood works done and an ultrasound. Is that what you call it? Ultrasound in like a week or two as well. So we take him to like a specialist. But yeah, it's been on and off the entire time. It's been like this for months now, where we are just dragging him to the vet and back, dragging him to the vet and back. It's not nice. Freaking heartbreaking as well when they do the injections. He starts screaming and stuff. I can't stand that. Because you can't explain the dog that it's going to be all right, you know? He just feels the pain. When we get the injection, at least you know that there's some type of payoff, you know? You're like, it's not so bad. You know, this is supposed to be good for us. Or, you know, they're taking your blood and, you know, you're going to get tested for something. But he just feels the pain and has no clue what the payoff is. You know, you give him some candies at the end, but it's not the same. It feels awful. I don't enjoy that feeling. Still waiting for the next game to start up, by the way. I'm not just talking about random things because I enjoy it. Although that is also the case, of course. Why isn't Harstem in this tournament? Am I tripping? You want to see why I'm not in the tournament? And that's what qualifiers are for, isn't it? So I played the European qualifier and I got knocked out by Goblin in the first qualifier. I beat Banan, then lost to Goblin. And was there 2 qualifiers? No, there was just 1. Yeah, so that's live. I think there was a global one as well, but I don't think... No, I also participated in that. And then I lost to Jishi. Oh, this was an absolutely awful time that I had. Yeah, this is not good games. I remember those as well. I did not have those did not spark joy. I know you guys always hype me up, but I'm not actually that good. I lose a lot. Yeah, it's okay. We'll get them next time. I've been practicing a lot though, okay? Soon, Atlanta is going to be my tournament. And the new patch, I'm not bad on the new patch, okay? I've been practicing the new patch for quite a bit. I've been practicing the new maps as well. You know, and then you start mixing it up with the old maps. That's the reason why I haven't been performing as well as of late. But new maps, new patch, boys, we're going to make it again, okay? We're going to win some tournaments. I'm predicting myself to get 3rd place at DreamHack Atlanta. So if you're an American and you want to see me get 3rd, at least you better show up. I had a dog do that for a while. I had to switch to rice. Yeah, we had him on rice and chicken for a long time. Yeah, well, I don't really want to get into too many details what's wrong, but it doesn't really work for him. So yeah, we tried a lot of the things and we're in close contact with the vet as well, who, you know, helps us maneuver through, which is a godsend. I was reading a lot of stories about bad veterinarians that just try to kind of milk you dry out of cash, you know? It's like, oh, your dog has more issues. How about we try these 17 things? But the vet actually didn't charge us like twice now already or so for, like, they just charge us the cost price for the medicine and then nothing for the consultation, which is like super kind and completely unnecessary because, you know, I understand it's their job as well, but she was like, I feel so bad, like, because we've been there like so many times over the past 3 months, but the past half year really. So I think 2 times now she was like, don't worry about like the consultation cost, like, and like when she just looks for stuff herself, usually they charge for that, but she was like, don't worry about that. So it's super kind. And whenever we call, we get free advice as well. So yeah, everyone's been real helpful about it, but yeah, it's still frustrating. Oh, the game has actually started, so we can pop over there. As we have, ladies and gentlemen, Cyan versus Dark over here. I cannot hear any sound. There we go. That's the better work. Are you going to cast all group stages? I'll have a look. I will try to do as much as possible. But I have some tournaments to play myself as well, and I want to practice. Casting games is very fun for me, but sadly I'm a human of limited time as well. If I could go into, you know, the time chamber, or the, what you call these things that they have in Harry Potter, that Hermione has in the 3rd book. What do you call this? They use it to save the guy, the uncle, the godfather, to save Harry's godfather. What are these things called? Time turners, I think in English. I don't even know what they are in Dutch. I read a book in Dutch though. I think they're called time turners. If I would have one of those, I could cast and practice at the same time. But I need to, you know, macro my time a little bit. And it's really fun to cast all these groups and all these games, but it's like 5-6 hours a day. And then I also have an actual life still on the side. I need to make the YouTube videos and I want to practice. So then you end up spending like 12, 13 hours, you know, just with StarCraft 2. My wife doesn't get too happy when that happens, especially because she's leaving soon as well on a holiday. So, or well, holiday, visiting her family. It's not really a holiday, it's, you know, some family visitation. So I want to spend some time with her too. So we'll see over the next few days what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's a time turner. That's what I thought. Can you play the test mod somehow? Yeah, of course. I'll show you after this series, okay? I'll show all of you how to play. It's super fun, man. I hard recommend playing some games with your mates. In general, I recommend playing StarCraft. Alrighty, my friends. Here we go. 2 kills by Cyan. Now, not many people will know Cyan. Or well, a lot of people will know Cyan, but some people might not be aware of Cyan. Cyan is a Chinese Protoss player that is known for 2 things. Cheese, greed, and late games. He is someone that is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to sitting back and doing nothing. He has very solid decision making. I like the way his brain works, but mechanically, he's not as impressive as some of these other Protoss players. This is a good start, though. Dark, for whatever reason, has decided to build an absolute metric crap ton of links. Has a late Evo chamber as a result. It's not going to get a quick lair. I'm honestly loving this position for Cyan. I wouldn't have even minded if he would have followed this up. Fleet Beacon, second Stargate, just go straight into carriers. I know that's where he wants to go anyway. He's quite good with that army. He understands how to use it. And Dark sometimes does, you know, kind of drop a map here and there against these late game tosses. Cyan, nice. Both of them are very capable of it. For now, though, Forge and Twilight Council. 2 more gateways coming in as well, as these gateway units are going to get surrounded, but it's in range of the battery. This is a bad fight for Dark. No clue why he would continue fighting that. Absolutely delusional if he thought that was going to achieve anything at all. I mean, you're next to a battery. You see the Nexus finish, so you know there's a super battery available. On top of that, Dark now actually losing a lot of drones. He's getting completely outmaneuvered here by Cyan. Like, this isn't even close. He's getting destroyed, honestly. Like, if the names were covered right now, and I would look at this position, I'd give this like an 80 to 20% for Cyan right now. Like, his position is so much better than Dark's. He's going to be capable of getting a fast forward base if he wants to as well. And while he does that, he can also still go up to 6 gases, because there's really no threat coming out of Dark. Cyan has seen the Evo chamber as well, I'm pretty sure. And that means that he knows there can't be some type of roach incoming off of a 54 drone count. So this forward base is safe. And I would absolutely love to see higher gas count, straight transition into carriers. Either that or into Storm. The one mistake I see people often make against low gas Zerg players, like Dark currently is, he's only on 5 gases. Anything that isn't fully saturated 6 gas, we call low gas saturation basically, is going too hard on double forge stuff, mass stalkers. I think this is really cool to play if you're better than your opponent, but Cyan is significantly worse than Dark most of the time. So I think what he wants to do is he wants to take that advantage and get to a stage in the game where it's much easier to play. And the Stalker Zealot style is not easy to play, especially not against someone like Dark. Like right now, he's pretty much throwing away his advantage for free. Killing these 3-4 Stalkers, forcing out that recall, allows Dark to drone up to really wherever he wants to. Can go up to 75, 76. Dark can also stay just on 70 workers if he wants to. Like I said, he literally can do whatever he wants. Like, it doesn't matter. And what does Cyan really have right now? Well, he has an okay Stalker count. He's getting double upgrades. He's getting charge, but right now the game actually looks fairly even. Or at least when Dark is going to be done droning, it's going to be fairly even. As we see 9 more drones on the way. Goes up to 81. I think 5th base should have gone down a while ago. I'm not so sure why Dark didn't, actually. It's just going to be oversaturated for a little bit. The way that he plays, it almost makes me believe he wants to go 8 gas into Lurker. Because it makes no sense to play a low gas build order of 81 drones on 4 hatcheries. It's just garbage. Cyan, some nice micro here, moving back, but he's already falling behind in supply. And his best timing is going to come when charge finishes. That is the one timing where he perhaps could deal some damage. If he doesn't deal damage there, I would generally say that this game is fairly over. Like, oh, a little bit of a laggy situation over here. We are working with a clean feed. Sadly, I'm not in the games today, so that is going to continue happening. Loses the observer, which is frustrating, but honestly, there's not so much creep in general. Nice wall. Ooh, that one's sexy. I wasn't aware of that one. 3 gateway to the bottom side. That actually looked really nice. Nidus network here being constructed by Dark. As Cyan is going to make his play. Follows this up with a robo bait. This is genuinely not a good call. Like, Cyan is on 84 workers, but on 4 gases. So, like, what is he gonna do? Build 25 zealots? That doesn't work. There's banelings out already. There's going to be baneling speed. +2 is getting closer and closer as well. I honestly don't think this is any future. We see a Dark Shrine now and a Robo Bay, but these structures need so much gas in order to properly function. The gas is not there. The Zealot run by is going to get cleaned up. Good response time there out of Cyan. It's going to move back for now. It's once again slightly laggy. My apologies. Although I'm not the one to blame. Burrow's getting researched. I mean, the moment you see a Zerg like Dark researching Burrow, you know he's too far ahead. You know, if he has money left over for that, he knows he's safe. Yeah, it's getting Colossus. Oh my god. Starting your first Colossus as the Hive is already done is probably the worst thing that you can do. Because Vipers are just going to destroy. God, it's so laggy. Holy crap, this is annoying me. Big Stasis Ward over here, and these trades are nice, but we need more here. Cyan giving away a fairly decent lead in the early game to do absolutely nothing in the mid-game stage. Now you could say, well, he secured a good eco. That's true. He secured an absolutely fabulous eco over here, but I think he would have been capable of doing that anyway with a higher gas count with better tech. His actual attacks, his low gas, did nothing for him, except delaying his stack, making sure that his army composition is now much weaker than it woulda, coulda, should have been. I'm loving this constant Zealot run-bys towards the main, actually taking out a Queen as well, but he's not even really getting great trades here either. It's not like he's, you know, taking out 20 Links and a Queen and losing 3 Zealots. Now, these trades are very inefficient. 164 supply to 196. I'm almost afraid here for Cyan if Dark decides to push out right now. These Oracles are out of energy. There's really nothing to deal with Banelings. If 30, 40 Banelings get morphed with +2, I mean, what the heck does Cyan have? Like half a Colossus without range? Good upgrades on Stalkers and Zealots don't really matter. Yep, there we go. 27 Banelings are now on the way. I think that Dark has also realized, like, wait a second, my opponent actually has no army that is good. We see Wall starting a 5 DT war run by. At the same time, Nidus Network in the main base. These 5 DTs could perhaps achieve something. I've never seen this type of usage before in the late game. At least not in Legacy of the Void. This is a Wings of Liberty move. Uh-oh. Probe's gonna be taken out. 15 workers go down instantly. The third base also under heavy pressure. DT's not going ham quite yet. As now they're moving in. 30 workers have gone down. As, well, there goes your lead. This is the problem if you don't have any solid splash. Colossus are not solid splash. There's nothing to tank these Banes with either. No Archons, no nothing. DT's doing an okay job actually for now, but the Links are gonna pop on over. There's no Shadow Stride available, and with the Overseers, as well as Pneumatized Carapace about to finish up, these DTs will fall. The Observer isn't even looking at it anymore, because he knew what was going to happen, and I knew as well. Dark now at a significant eco lead as he starts his first Viper. The only thing that Cyan really has going for himself are his upgrades, but at the same time, having 3-3 or just 3-2 Zealots doesn't help against Banelings, because Zealots just die anyway to the Baneling splash. New Baneling nest does need to be created, because apparently the other one got slaughtered. 2 more robotics facilities are being thrown down. If Cyan manages to win with this push, that would be very impressive, but I honestly have no hope for him. It's just going to be pureling Roach over here. Adrenal Glands is going to help out. Banelings moving forward. Zealot count a little bit too low. This looked like a decent start for Cyan, but he's going to get completely cleaned up here. He's being rinsed right now. If there's one thing that Cyan doesn't like, is being rinsed by Zerg players. Oracle's helping out against these final Ravagers and Links, but... Oh, actually, this Zealot run-by is kind of big. They just stood there idling. They're going to take out a lot of these Roaches. Links moving forward. This was a cool move. Dark was not aware of those Zealots being there. I think Cyan also forgot about that. Worker count isn't looking too poor. That helped a lot. That really did help a lot. We're still on 5 bases as well for Cyan, and he's building 5 workers at the same time. I'm almost starting to believe again, because Dark hasn't really prepared a transition quite yet. He's on 76 workers, which is just too low, and his army consists mainly of Roaches. Roaches are bad. Banelings are good, Roaches are bad. Those are the rules currently. It's the name of the game. Templar Archives finally gets thrown down as well, as Cyan is going to continue getting more and more units out. Honestly, if Dark doesn't transition into... Oh, actually, this army is garbage, isn't it? Holy crap. This is a real garbage army that Cyan has. There's like freaking 15 zealots. Like 12 stalkers. There's more. There's like 20 zealots, 12 stalkers. So supply is quite decent. But his army is really bad. We have one swarm host on the way. DT is getting way more damage than they should, even if the damage is indirect. Shadow Stride now finally gets researched. Whew. Here we go with the run by. Oh, come on. +3 Banelings destroying this mineral line. Yeah. Dark having a blast there. 11 kills. It's not great. Hydra then on the way. I think this is the correct call. If you're better than someone in general, getting a lurker then eventually tends to be quite smart. This is what Sarah always does against me as well. If Sarah wouldn't build a lurker then so often, I would have so many more wins. I'm not bad against his Banelings. It's the lurkers that I struggle with. Which shouldn't be the case, because lurkers are significantly worse than Banes. At least in the current patch. This is one hell of an army. And when I say one hell of an army, I mean it's really bad. 5 Banelings are going to kill all the damage output there, and 31 Banelings are definitely going to kill all the damage output there. We see the lurker then being thrown down. I think Dark is starting to realize that his eco is legitimately balls, and that Gressven is a hard map to kill someone on. In the past, we've actually seen Dark decide to veto this map in best of 3s. It's not the case this time though against Cyan. Cyan's not bad though in late game. His movement is quite good. Not a huge fan of the Zealot run by. It's going to walk into some Banelings. Most likely. And then lose all of it. There we go. Well, nice little lag spike. As it happens. Love to see it. This is what we live for, my friends. Zealot here under heavy fire. Or Queen is going to die to the Zealot. Topside base did get cancelled. So base count is still even. The funny thing is that honestly, if they fight right now, and there are some Storms available, some Templar, if they fight pre-Lurker with 5 Storms, I actually think that Cyan is winning. And by a pretty fat margin as well. Like, Dark needs to trade his army out. He's losing 10 drones somewhere. He's only on 67 workers. The first Hydra's now being produced. I'm starting to believe in Life After Love. Dark did not pull away drones as the Shadow Stride boys are gonna pull back. Oh, can the Stalkers come in? Morph into Archons. I think we go now. If you hit pre-Lurker, if you can fight pre-Lurker, that would be huge. I don't think there's Seismic Spines quite yet. So even if these Lurkers pop out, maybe there is Seismic Spines. Seismic Spines is the range upgrade, by the way, for the unaware, the uninitiated. Fleet Beacon gets thrown down. Once again, a 6DT squad moving in. There's an Overseer ready, so it shouldn't work. I think Cyan is being way too careful here. We have this Nidus network going up in the main base. Okay. And what are you going to do with the Nidus? Throwing some lurkers there? No shot, my friend. Don't storm on the lurkers. Nice feedback. Okay, Nidus in the main goes down. 5 DTs get warped in. I hope that's in the main base. Could be wrong, though. That base being taken out means that Cyan is now going to be... Oh my god. Cyan is now going to be up a base. Almost up 2 bases. Yet there's no Seismic Spines yet. These lurkers are freaking garbage at the moment. They only have 8 range. I actually believe that if Cyan fights, he's going to win the game. He can take out another base for free for sure. He's moving into Disruptors as well. So another Nidus network gets thrown down. It's 79 workers to 65. There's almost no creep. Dark has been not playing this very well so far this game. 2 Locusts once again into the main base. Roaches do get taken out. That's nice. Yeah, Ryung Ash. Poof. Blink forward. Take him out. There we go, brother. We have a big Baneling run by. This makes sense. You want to get rid of those Banelings right now, rather than in the middle of the fight. Seismic Spines is about to finish up, and once that finishes, and the next round of Lurkers is here, I think we once again have ourselves a stable game. Cyan, is he quick enough with the pull away? He is quick, but not quick enough. 20 workers, 22 workers go down. These Banelings had all the damage that they've ever dreamt of. 56 workers to 62, and despite Cyan having 2 more bases at the moment, it doesn't really matter. He's not going to be capable of outmining his opponent with less workers. Now, of course, some bases might be running out right now that belong to Dark. But Dark is also getting more and more lurkers. Another Nidus network going down. Here come the disruptors. Going to... Oh, wow. These are some fat hits over here. Some real fat hits. Love to see it. Love to see it. God, I love the StarCraft soundtrack. It's actually so good. Imagine having played this. Like, how many people have listened to your crap? That's crazy. Well, it's just you have like some actual brain dead fans that listen to it all the time. Just like the pop artists, you know? Like a lot of pop artists are pretty famous, you know, and a lot of people know them, but most of the time it's just a small group of complete degenerates that play the same song 500 times a day. It's the same with StarCraft fans. You know, literally listening to the same soundtrack for the past 13 years every day. God, it's so good. This is an interesting push as well. Still moving forward. Oh my god. Half of the majority of the lurker force there was stuck. We now have a mothership on the way. I'm honestly kind of afraid right now. I'm honestly kind of afraid. Could be wrong. Been wrong in the past. I'm getting afraid for dark. Kind of afraid for dark. Hello, how about we show the fight, observer? Oh, start lagging. Perfect. Lurkers here are being destroyed. Stalkers moving forward. Couple of storms. Vipers are around. Maybe one more storm and a feedback. Honestly, Cyan's control is phenomenal. We do have a Ling run by here heading towards the 7 base. Super battery can be utilized. This is an optimistic DT. Yeah. Good attempt, brother. Oh no. Can't make it up. Okay. There's a lot of Lings burrowed though, and Cyan's not aware of it. We do have 190 supply against 170. As the mothership is about to pop in a couple of seconds. Banelings now being moored. We'll head into multiple mineral lines at the same time. Usually this isn't much of an issue, but now it is going to be much of an issue. Cyan is just throwing away units for free here, by the way. Which is definitely an issue. Oh, at the same time, disruptors do connect with lurkers here. Banelings take out 12 workers. Cyan, Cyan, Cyan. What are we doing over here? Doesn't look so hot. Down 15 supply right now. 13 supply. 2 probe start. Viper count increasing once more as well. There's 3 disruptors, 4 disruptors maybe. Look at that. He's using the changelings to try and block areas off. As we see a DT warp in. Should be capable of dealing with that Nidus. Will be capable of dealing with that Nidus. Rotation coming out of Cyan. Couple of disruptor shots. One lurker goes down. One disruptor also goes down though. Make it out what you will, but I don't think that was necessarily a great trade. PP. Oh wait, they're gonna play music. Zoom back. So it's possible that he's talking about the program Zoom, or that he's completely zoomed in and he's been playing like that for the past time. I'm so afraid. Oh, he's speaking in Chinese. I have Translate on my phone. Quick. Camera. I popped out. Sister Zhang is fine. Reasons ready. So he popped out of Zoom, I think. Very cool. Alright, we're back. God, it's crazy that we can do that, no? You just take a picture of the text, it translates. Still have no clue what he meant, but... cool nonetheless. I freaking love technology, man. Freaking love it. Uh-oh, this mothership's gonna get... you can feel it. No, it's gonna get ejected out of this game. Oh no! Oh no, Vipers! You don't pay attention to your army for 5 seconds and it all just disappears as it gets slurped up here by the Viper. How unfortunate is that, my friends? On a scale from 1 to 10, I would say about a 10. 10 unfortunate. Lurkers now getting raffilated. Cyan, the problem is with Cyan is that he's had such a good eco this entire time. Even if he loses his army 17 more times, he's just been mining much more. He has garbage upgrades though on his air. So he's building carriers right now and his carriers have +1. Ugh. Get +2. And he also continues building Colossus. He's the only player in the world that I've seen build Colossus after they've been taken out again and again. People like... Oh my god, what is this? What is this lurker attack going to do? These are DTs, no? DTs are gonna die against the splash if they're not careful, yeah. Clear the Nidus! Clear the Nidus! They can't retreat! If you clear the Nidus, they can't retreat! Dude, clear the freaking Nidus! What? How did they see these DTs? Is there an overseer somewhere? If he would have cleared the Nidus, I think he can just walk in and kill his opponent. No, there's nothing here. What is this? There's like 5 Hydras and 3 Lynx. You sneeze in the direction. This was so risky by Dark. That's crazy. Oh my god. You can't make this stuff up. And now the Viper slurp him up again with their long tongue that they have. Oh, here comes another Nidus pop out. Pop, pop. These Zealots are gonna get blasted around. Zergs complain about recall, but really Nidus is just a free recall. Oh, this is not the stream lagging, this is the game lagging. Jimmy! Out. 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 God, I can't believe Jimmy Micro. This is unbelievable. Jimmy! Out. Oh, Jimmy! Yeah, he needs to leave. You lag once, it's out. That's the rules. Jimmy. Come on. This is very frustrating as a player. Yeah, it's not allowed. So if you lag as an observer in a game, the rule is you go out, you can try again next game. If you fail twice in the same day, you're out for the rest of the day. These are the unwritten rules. But you can, maybe his PC is just lagging so much that he can't even leave the game though. But the moment that happens, you just hold down the button. You just a hard restart basically. It's like you know, you're out. Oh. Now we finally have 2 spires on the way. It's a little bit too late though, I think. Like the game is already over. Did Dark focus his own lurkers to kill DTs with Splash? Really? I didn't even... Yeah. Well, in that case, that's a very cool move. I think this game might actually be over, though. I think Dark has gained so much momentum and so much control that he now is just gonna outplay his opponent. Look at this. There's a bunch of carriers out, but they have garbage upgrade. Thank you. So yeah, make of that what you will. Yeah, it's completely over. Like, the only way you're winning is if you have mass carriers at this point with like +3 upgrades. But these upgrades are balls for the carriers. There's 10 corruptors on the way already. Right? This is not how life works. Cyan, it's not gonna work. I can guarantee you that this is not gonna work. This never worked. I've tried this so many times as well. He actually has quite a few carriers, but the upgrades suck too much. I think if he would have had +3 and like 5 more carriers here, you can maybe win the game. Actually, nah, it's impossible. It's very close. Is this on the patch mod? No, it's not. Then returning back home is probably, well, it's most definitely a mistake. Is it? The income is actually really close. It's like really, really close. And a lot of this army that that Cyan has is still completely soaked in that Dark has is kind of in those lurkers. Lurkers are completely useless against what Cyan has as an army. You know what some people would do here? They would only focus on building corruptors. But Dark, he builds links because he wants to win time. The most important resource for him right now is time. It is everyone's most important resource. We have everything till an infinite amount except for time. And that is why I am sponsored by Rolex watches. If you too want a Rolex watch, be sure to use code Harstem at checkout for a 2.5% deal off. As time is the most valuable resource we have, wouldn't you always want to keep track of it? Rolex. For him. For her. That was a fake advertisement. I don't get sponsored by Rolex. You also don't get a 2.5% discount if you put in my code. It was a joke. I will not be refunding you if you buy a Rolex. This is satire. Everything I say here is satire, so please be aware of that. Okay, more corruptors on the way, still no +2. You know what Cyan actually could be doing? Is he could get more air units and then try to fly into the main base, recall Archons and Templar in there as well. This is also a move, which is kind of working. Dark in shambles. Lynx are taking out every single probe right now. But at the same time, these lurkers are actually in some trouble. If the lurkers die and the Archons survive, I think the corruptors will not stand a chance. Parasitic Bomb does get cast though. There's 1, 2, 3, 5 carriers remaining, and I think there might just be too many corruptors here. 95 army supply against 108. We have a DT warp in at this pylon. There's no overseer with this run by. That means that these DTs are going to be having an absolute blast, but the worker count is in shambles as well. Still 4 lurkers, might just be too much. This run by gets cleaned though. 4 Archons. If the lurkers get targeted down, there's honestly nothing to deal with the ground force. Legitimately nothing. These lurkers are the most important thing right now, and it's not even close. If these lurkers... Oh, Mothership in some trouble. Mothership in some trouble. Mothership is basically dead. Lurkers on siege, though. Here come the links from the side. Colossus helping out. Archons targeting down those corruptors as there's 5 carriers still alive. 87 supply to 92. I think that Cyan might barely be able to do it. GG! The man, the myth, the legend does it. Oh my god. The music. I forgot about the music there for a second. Oh my god, look at him. Come on, do something. Wait, he just goes to the toilet? No, make a move. Box into the camera. You know, show your biceps. Do a tricep extension with your chair behind you. Something cool. What was this? Come on, you can't just straight run to the toilet. You just beat a guy that's 700 MMR higher than you on a league lock. Good lord. Hey bro, stop speaking non-English, please. This is the last warnings. What an absolute gamer, though. Time to eat a little bit as well. Absolute beast, man. Are we going to see Cyan come back from the toilet? And the question that we have, of course, is did he wash his hands or not? Yeah. You see, he rubbed them off on his shirt. They're still wet from the water. A little bit of soap on there as well. Look how happy he looks. Actually, he looks a little bit distraught. He doesn't look happy at all. He just realized he needs to win a second game. Maybe he didn't go to the toilet, went downstairs to tell his parents, I won! I beat the guy with the moustache. Now it's Dark's turn to go to the toilet. Not many people know this, but Dark lives in a penthouse in Korea. In the Gangnam district. The song Gangnam Style was actually based on Dark's regular life. For the people that don't know, Gangnam is an area in Korea that's considered where the rich people live. There's like thousands and thousands of plastic surgeons in Gangnam. This is where they all are. If you walk through that street, you have convenience stores, restaurants, and plastic surgeons. That's it. And like Rolex stores, Louis Vuitton, that type of stuff. Like very, you know, upper class. Gangnam, yeah. Dark has 2 penthouses there. But he doesn't live in either because he doesn't care about these things. He just bought them because he needed something to do with the money. The bank called him, the bank manager. It's like, Dark, you have a lot of cash. Do something with it. Dark, you know, put down the phone and bought 2 penthouses. He lives in a basement of a small building because that's how he focuses best. Because Dark knows that time is the most valuable resource. If you live on the top floor of a penthouse every single day, into the elevator, out of the elevator, you're losing what, 2.5, 3 minutes? How many times do you leave your house on a day? Maybe 5, 6 times? We're talking 18 minutes a day here, my friends. On a weekly basis, in the weekend you go out more. We're talking maybe 2 hours a week that he's losing. That's hundreds of hours a year. 104 hours a year. That is crazy. That's time that Dark doesn't just have laying around. Come on, get it together. That's why he bought 2 penthouses but doesn't use them. Actually, he puts his biggest opponent in the penthouses so that they lose time. Dark is playing 4D chess. That's what's up. All right, I'm gonna listen to the sound. Okay, it's normal again. I'm sorry that I'm too slow with it every single time, but they just play it so loud and so quick. It's driving me nuts. Why would you leave the house? Groceries? I mean, every now and again you want to go outside, no? I guess if you have a penthouse, usually you have like a little balcony you can stand on. I always wonder if it ever gets used for peeing down. During the rain. You know, who would notice? I think the mistake that many people make when they pee from a high building is that they do it when it's completely dry. So you can't really hide behind the rain. But if there's rain, you're not even gonna notice. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, there's rain. There's a lot more rain in that one spot. But no one's gonna think about it. Why is the rain yellow? That's weird. No one will know. Still the same thing. But that's not why Dark bought the penthouses. Absolutely not. How's the dog doing? I don't know. The dog himself is fine. It is the problem when he goes outside and needs to poop. He gets a bit of diarrhea. So, yeah. The vet said we need to do some tests because he was a bit worried. He also lost a lot of weight. Like, we'll see. But we got some medicine and we're giving it, and he's eating it quickly. He drinks, he eats. Usually, as long as your pet or your dog, especially, as long as they drink and eat, usually it's still fine. And he's been very keen on eating and drinking as well, so that's good. He also doesn't have any weird behavior, doesn't pretend like he's drunk, so that's all fine. All right, let's do it. But then you get wet. I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. I've never heard that before. I don't think that juice is worth the squeeze. Oh, that is a beautiful way of phrasing it. Yeah, write that down somewhere. I'll use a notepad. The juice is worth the squeeze. I sometimes have these little, these little proverbs or idioms or like these one-liners that I really like. I write them on a notepad or I write them down on a paper. And then while I'm doing a cast for my second channel, I'll try to fit them in somewhere. So if you hear a fancy word every now and again, that's what I'm doing. It's like... Yeah, it's good to have like a bigger vocabulary, and more zingers. You want some more zingers in there. And if you use it a couple of times, then it kind of becomes natural to you and you can use it. Sometimes you overuse it. It's what happened with me with that is what chess players call a completely unique game. And then someone made a Harstem bingo where that one was on it. I did not like that. I felt personally attacked because, well, it was a personal attack. Oh. Yeah, it was lag. Maybe it's Jimmy again. Always lag. Did he lose that adapt? I think he lost that adapt. There they go again with the music. They're so fast. So I think what they should do right now, they should remake the game because he lost the adapt due to lag. I don't think this is incorrect. I learned one the other day. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Yeah, but that's a classic. Everyone knows that. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Yeah, that gets used a lot as well. Yeah, it gets used a lot. You honestly want to see Serral getting destroyed by Cure? You need to be patient then, young one, because these guys are not in the same group. Serral's already made it out of Group A, and this is Group D. We'll be playing Group B and C in the next few days. I'm not sure why we're starting with Group D as the second group. I felt like the group numbers usually indicate the order in which the group gets played, but maybe I'm missing something here. Sometimes I think that I'm the idiot and everyone else is a genius. But in these types of situations, I'm like, well, surely it would be better to actually... Well, I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. This is a bad build order. This is a really bad build. I give this build 2 stars out of 5. That's not a good rating. So I tend to be quite nice about build orders. I think... I don't even know yet exactly what Cyan is going to be doing here. I just know that it's garbage, because nothing good can come from his current opener. Like, legitimately nothing. What I think he's going to do... Like, what would be the best... Oh my god, no. He's going to go for an Archon drop. If he plays an Archon drop with +1, it will actually be the worst build order he possibly could do on this map against Dark. Because Dark, every single time, and I'm not even over-exaggerating, every single time Dark plays this map, every single time, he plays a freaking Roach Ravager Queen all-in. This is legit, always, okay? So, if you go for an Archon drop, that would be the worst thing to do against a Roach all-in. Instead, it's going to be a Charge Immortal attack. Wait, there's no 4th base yet. A 3rd base, sorry. I think Dark is seeing this and is thinking to himself, that's weird. So Dark now is just going to a very high drone count, which is also just odd by itself. Then gets 5 gas and just starts pumping roaches like his life depends on it. Yep, that's exactly what's gonna happen. That is exactly what's gonna happen. Gets +1 range as well. So the reason he does it of a slightly higher worker count is in case this is like some 2-base carrier stuff. It is actually really nice to have those extra gases, as well as the +1 on the queens, and just a higher queen count altogether. The funny thing here is that it is Cyan who thinks he is doing an all-in, but in reality, it is Dark that is doing the all-in. Well, they're both all-inning, but Dark's all-in is so much better that no matter where they're going to fight, Dark is going to win. I'm guaranteeing you this. This was the worst possible build order that you could pick, I think. Dark is building a Spire because he's afraid of carriers. He's like, man, my opponent has nothing. Now he sees this, Immortals. I think he'll cancel the Spire. I'd be surprised if he finishes this Spire. The moment you see any amount of Archons morphed in, I think you'll cancel it. That's at least what I would suggest. But it's impossible for Dark to lose this game, so it literally doesn't matter. We could pretend that it's close though if you want. Oh my god, brilliant force fields here coming out of Cyan. This is a close game as he's trying to push across, just barely getting pushed back. Dark just hanging on by a tiny little string. Another big warp in here. This is going to be a very close fight. 51 army supply against 70. Dark only building units because he got caught off guard. What a close game this is right now as a drop is heading in towards the main base. Spire closer and closer to being done. The fact that Dark managed to finish this Spire means that he can build Mutas the moment that it finishes. Or perhaps even Corruptors. Either option right now probably would be great. Zealots moving in towards the main. There is charge. Dark needs to respond very rapidly or he could be in some massive trouble because this game is definitely still extremely close. Zealots do get picked off. 7 Zealots traded out for 3 drones. That is what we call an absolutely awful trade. Cyan tries to take some map control. For now, that's not going to be possible. 9 Mutas in production. I think Cyan might just barely be capable of holding, and then we still could have a game on our hands. Because this game is absolutely not over. More and more roaches in production as well. And Dark is, I think he's accidentally all-inning here. He's gonna attack with a lot of roaches while simultaneously hitting with the Mutas. This is a very advanced move. Cyan does have the forces to deal with it if he would have Storm and about 50 more supply. Muta's now heading in towards the main base. And I don't think Cyan is quite ready. Oh boy, this is going to be close. What is Dark doing at the same time? We see a Roach Force knocking on the Cyber Core. At the same time, we see Cyan setting up for a base raid. This could be exciting. Is there enough for Dark here to hold this at home? I am not entirely sure. Dark is only up 50 supply right now. Even upgrades, Ravagers here helping out. There's so much production for Dark, but the banks are similar. Oh, close fight here. We see one Roach going down for 4 Archons as these trades are looking extremely even. The Immortals, oh my god, who could have seen this? Once again, the noise caught me off guard. As Dark, the surprise winner here in the second game. Whew. No one could have predicted it after seeing these build orders that were so closely matched. Yeah, it was a garbage build. I'm not quite sure why you would play that. Like, Dark literally plays Roach +1 or Roach, 50 drone, 4 gas. Every single game on this map. Every single game on this map. I've watched 4 or 5 games over the past 2 months, and he always does the same thing. I don't understand, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand that. Dark is also not someone that seems to be very aware of his reputation on single maps. Like, I just don't get it. Like, he's a guy that literally will... Okay, there's another thing that Lambo has been telling me and everyone for a long time. Whenever Dark kills gets his Overlord killed in a ZVT, every single time he'll throw down a Roach Ward and Roach Rush. Pay attention to this. It happened the other day again. I was watching him versus Bian, I think, and he loses an Overlord. Poop, plops down the Roach Ward and goes for a Roach Rush. Like, legitimately, like clockwork. From now on, whenever you see him in ZVT, pay attention to this. It's very funny. Ha, ha, ha. Just tuning in, is this the test mod tournament? No, test mod tournament starts... I actually think it might be tomorrow. I know I said that it would start on the 26th, but I think it might actually be 25, 26, 27. I could be wrong about that. It starts 5 p.m. Central European time every single day. I'm super excited for it. I'm actually... So usually I don't stream in the weekends, but I'm thinking about streaming the test mod tournament. It will be a different type of stream though, because I would be playing it. And because I'm taking it very serious, because I think I have a good chance of making it past the first round. I don't want to live commentate. So what we'll do is I'll mute myself while I'm playing, and then in between the games I'll talk a bit. But I think it's just super exciting to play just in general competitive games on the new patch. So I'm kind of looking forward to that altogether. All right. Here we go, my friends. Here we go. If it works, why should he change up? Because the reason why you would want to change up is because you're too predictable. So even if it is the best strategy by far on a particular map, if it is abusable in any way, you probably are going to get blind countered at some point. Like, I could imagine strategies that would blind counter this. And until someone plays it against Dark, he's probably going to continue playing it. But even if you just mix it up a little bit, it becomes a lot scarier to blind counter, right? If there's like a 20% chance that your blind counter doesn't connect, then that makes it scarier. This is why people often play very diverse strategies. Now, I do understand that taking a Rich Vespine Geyser and doing a Ravager push with it is very common on that map. But there's people that do it often and still mix in more regular play as well every now and again. And I think that tends to be stronger. Even if you're not playing the best strategy then, you're making it so much harder to play against you because you're much less predictable. This is why sometimes you'll see worse players with a lot of preparation be the player that is better than them. Because these players, they just play too standard. This is often in, like, I think this can happen in PvT, this can happen in PvP and TvT, ZVZ as well. Where these types of preparations matter a lot. We also sometimes see it in PvZ, but not as much because it's so much reacting coming out of the Zerg. But the way that Dark is playing on that particular map, I think you could definitely blind counter this. There's some ways. You're not necessarily straight up winning, but you could put yourself into a very, very good position after the early game at least. And it would be fairly simple things. Like, you could think of something like... So you open up with a triple Oracle build, kind of standard. And then what you do is you hide a second Stargate in your main base and you continue building Oracles. And then you just save up 9 or 10 Oracles. As Dark moves out across the map with 12 Ravagers and 5 Queens, you show the 12 Oracles. And you just kill absolutely everything. Like, you kill the Queens, you can clear every Ravager, you just make sure you stay alive, and then you can transition into either Blink or into Fleet Beacon double Stargate. Like, that is something that if Dark 100% plays the same build on that map, is something you could do 100%. And you, unless you completely mess it up or you don't prepare the build order correctly, you're always going to be ahead, no matter your relative skill level. Like, if you're a gold player and you do that, you're still going to lose. But if you're a pro player, and even if you're 600-700 MMR below, you could... I don't think you're straight up gonna win, but you're putting yourself in a much, much superior position than your opponent. And Cyan managed to win game number 1 from a position that was slightly better. Not a position that was insanely good. It was like, okay, this is better, but... Okay, it was kind of good, actually. I said 80-20. No, okay, that's pretty big. These two are gonna finish up. Dark is so quick with these responses. Almost feels like there's no point. This is real nice control out of Dark, honest to God. Forced into 1 Spore, loses 1 drone, and I think 3 sets of links. No third base yet, though, for Cyan. This is not the damage that he wanted. This is a really quick Twilight Council. I think it might be 4-gate Glaives. Yep, that's what it's going to be. 4-gate Glaives, pre-third base. What are we looking at then? What are we looking at? How many Oracles is this? Is this 2? Yeah, okay, it's 2 Oracles, so I think like a 5-minute Roach Warren? Is that going to be in time? No shot. It should be, actually. This Twilight was very late. Hi, Captain. I will donate another 130 sec if you move your cam to cover the half-head to the left of you. Like this? There's no advertisement right now. Next time the advertisement comes, I'll make sure to cover it, brother. I'm coming to collect those Swedish kroners from you. If you want to get rid of them, I'm a good enough person that will take them. It's going to be 4-gate Glaive. We have a melee opener coming out of Dark. If Dark doesn't get a Roach Warren at 520, I think he might be in trouble. If he doesn't get a Baneling Nest, either, he's definitely in trouble. What are we looking at here with the... It's not so clear to me. I think it's like 30 seconds away. Okay, Baneling Nest on the way, 5:30. It's going to be very close. What? What? Why would he finish that? As a response, Dark built 26 links, and I think 2 or 3 adepts. I think all adepts ended up going down. That was a blunder. Freaking blunder hour over there. So now these Glaive adepts are moving in, but Baneling Nest is done. Can start morphing some of these bad boys. Queens need to move in position, though. 7 Banes are on the way. How many adepts is that? I don't know. We can count them now because we have a laggy moment. 1 Bane does get sniped. We'll finish up in the main base. Melee done in about 12 seconds. I'll move this thing over here. So we have... He can't finish that one, right? Can he? He's gonna finish it. Oh! Not it. Not it. He gets cleaned up here. 59 workers to 54. This looks really bad. Like, really, really bad right now. So you might think, well, the worker count is better here for Cyan, but the problem is that he's down in upgrades against Lynx, and he doesn't have any type of splash coming up. This attack by itself is quite scary already to deal with. Here we go, Baneling's moving in right now. Oracles do make their way back home. Look at these Banelings just forcing these Lynx towards the top, or these probes towards the top side. 8 workers go down. It's quite a decent investment though out of Dark. The game is getting laggier for some reason. It's kind of frustrating for me. This is a good shape. But it's a very quick drone pool. Dark is so fast with these things. So ridiculous how quick he is. Lynx are going to be chasing these Adepts. Adepts should not finish, and they won't. It's a good call, because at least you're going to deny mining for a bit longer. Gets a recall off. 3 Adepts go back home. I'm not quite sure how big it is to have Adepts at this point, though. Adepts feel fairly useless. There's going to be a second Forge, but it's going to be way too late. I mean, what's the point? You're fighting as someone's going to get Adrenal Gland. You're not actually going to fight efficiently with Gateway units anymore in that case. Like, by the time +1 armor finishes, Adrenal Gland is going to be like 60% done. So, I think this ain't it. This absolutely ain't it. Nice blink, I guess. Adepts will finish. No, won't finish their shade. It is 5 base currently versus, well, 3.5. 79 workers to 64. Dark is in a phenomenal position. Ooh. I just don't quite understand what the plan now is going to be for Cyan. Yeah, he needs to get higher gas count, Templar Archives. So what you can do here is you add like 1 or 2 oracles. There's almost no creep, so queens can't come with any push. You add 1 or 2 oracles and you just camp on 4 bases. Start building walls like your life depends on it. It's the only thing really that's viable going into a late game, because you need to skip the mid game. Like, believing in the mid game is a thing of the past right now for Cyan. It's just simply not going to be possible. Ultralisk Cavern is on the way. Ultras are genuinely quite bad. I feel like people romanticize the Ultra Cavern, like Zergs do. They think of the Ultra Cavern as like, oh, it's a good unit. But I think it's a unit that enables comebacks for the Protoss. While the Lurker doesn't really, if you're as good as Dark. Dark is very solid with the Lurkers. The clean feed is lagging quite a bit right now. It's frustrating for me. Very frustrating even. +3 melee on the way. I mean, it's like I can't lose an Oracle here. Okay, that's good that it stays alive. Like, honestly, what you can do is stasis ward, get Storm. I think a 5th base here is simply not possible to hold. Yeah, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. Huge blunder. Well, not huge because he didn't really lose a whole lot, but still a blunder. He needs to be walling. The fact that he thought he could take a 5th base makes me believe he doesn't understand his position currently. He's gonna try and take out some of these Lynx. Maybe with a super battery it's actually possible to have a decent fight. These guys have Adrenal. 1 Archon gets taken out. 2 Archons almost get taken out. It is so laggy right now. Banelings moving forward. Not a bad defense here out of Cyan. Thinks he can counterattack. That's incorrect. The lags continue. I have a talk with the boys after this, see if I can get into the games. I mean, this is just... it's over. It's over, it's over. 100%. Like, we could talk about this all day, but... Today, tomorrow, and the day after. Yeah. Cyan knows it's over. There's no point. Poor guy. He played well in the first game, but... I was quick enough with the mute this time. I'm proud of myself. The first time I've managed to make the mute, just barely in time. Greetings from Houten. Greetings back to Houten. Mish. Okay, up next we have Cure Ryung, then Dark DRG, and then Cure Cyan. Jesus. Oh. I'm honestly not super interested in that. Could be wrong, but... I just don't think it's so interesting. Freaking 2VTs. It's gonna be a while anyway before it starts. If I can find some patch games, that would be more fun in my opinion. This is the new patch. No, the tournament is not being played on the new patch. I'm thinking of playing some games though. Not entirely sure yet. Not entirely sure. If I can find the... Go. Okay, I'll play 1 or 2 games with Baby Marine. Okay, so the way you do it, you just can open any map and put the mod community balance patch August 2023 on it. And then you can play. It's as simple as that. Okay, we move these things around a bit. I'll change the title real fast as well of my stream. All right. How do you feel about the new patch after all these games? I haven't played enough yet. Especially on the new maps. I just haven't. It's always patch in combination with the maps. Don't forget that. Patch in combination with the maps. That's what happens over here. It's never just the patch. It's always the two combined. So this is one of the new maps. I think this one's called Side Delta, which is an okay name, I guess. I don't know. I usually don't judge names of maps. I think about the maps themselves. Do I like them? Do I not like them? Here we go. Any thoughts on the Chinese patch suggestions? I think at least the tournaments they host will be entertaining to watch. I read a little bit. I thought they buffed the battle cruiser a lot. I was reading it. I was thinking it was it was a bit of a surprising patch. Maybe it's good. I don't know. There's no game sound? No, there is. I'm sorry. You're just going to donate these anyway. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, well, we maybe will watch more of the tournament later, but I don't know. TVT so boring. A lot of the time. So I'll consider it. I'll play 1 or 2 games because a lot of people have been asking for me to play some games as well live. They can ask questions at the same time, so that's interesting too. Maybe. Who knows? Okay, this thing finishes up. Hello? Give me warp. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much, good sir. I'll play some Twilight into Colossus. This feels awfully fast, doesn't it? Factory before Marine, isn't it? Is it? 15, maybe not. Hard for me to say. I'm so bad at mathematics. Maybe gas first? I have no clue what this is. I guess we'll figure it out eventually. At least I do know there's not going to be a Reaper anytime soon, so I can freely move across the map. What is the standard timing for your third as Protoss? What do you mean? There's no such thing as a standard timing, but you can get it very early. People always build their third bases too late. This is why they lose games. If you play Blink, then you can get it very quick. You can also just get it later. But you can literally do anything. He's building, you know what he's building? He's building Cyclones from this. These guys have absolutely no what you call it? No self-respect. Cyclone gets buffed, all they do for the next 5 years is building Cyclones. It's actually true. It's really scary though. Cyclones are... I don't want to call them boosto, but... they're freaking boosto. Probably should have stayed a bit longer to figure out if it's actually Cyclones. Cyclones are uber slow. I think they're actually slower than an Adept. Before the speed upgrade. It looks ridiculous. Wait, I'll show you guys. Like he's gonna show up at some point. Oh, you prick. Oh. Oh, you monster. I saw you go here. Oh, wait. You can escape from here. I thought this was like a corner or something. I wonder if he's going to follow this up with something or if this is it. There we go. Oh, I already had one more of these on the way. That's stupid by me. Cancel one probe. Couple more dudes. Yes, I'll send some adepts across them now. Honest. This is starting to look pretty scary for me. To be completely honest. I'm always afraid though when I play Blink. Sure. Never believe your opponents, especially if they're Terran. All Terrans are always liars. This is a fact that people don't want to admit, but it's 100% true. Would like to know Harstem's opinion on Zero Space too. Oh, I have no real opinion except that everything I've played so far, it felt quite fun. I enjoyed it. I had a good time playing it. And the controls felt good. Like, they had a lot of the basics down. I was surprised how far along the game was. Despite still having a couple of years in development to go still. So, yeah. I see a lot of tosses put a pylon like that in between their gases and their nexus. Is there a specific reason they do it? So, it doesn't block mining. And it allows you to build buildings around in like a pretty nice way. While still having it be a fast warping pylon. So you can warp in on that pylon and it will be a fast warping pylon. Bro, what is he doing? Get it together, my friend. Get it together. Queens with an anti-air siege mode-like ability as a nerf, possible. Will Protoss be easier to win with now? Yes. How long is your English idioms and phrases list? I usually remove them, so I just do like 2 or 3 at a time, and then after a while I'll know them, and I'll, you know, circle back in with the ones I already know, because I'm very smart. Huge brain. Not to brag, but kind of to brag. Where are you, Mr. Baby Marine? Is this guy legit just building two Hellions and then pissing off? Like this is so boring. I hate when people do this. Oh, what is this? Oh, never mind. I said nothing. Oh crap. I have met the enemy. You must construct additional pylons. Look how slow they are. But look how fast they are now. Okay. Oh my god, I'm owning him. Take for the $15. Eric Cartman. Oh no, Eric the man, I mean. Not Eric Cartman. Why would I blink in? 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 I knew it was a mistake the moment I did it. So why would I do it? Because I'm an idioti. How Cyclone seems to you, from my perspective, it's garbage without speed. And then it's viable. I think it's hard to say for me still. I haven't played enough with it or against it. But it has multiple uses. And it can still be made better, it can still be made worse as well, don't forget. The general concept I prefer. The interactions seem more interesting than pre-rework. Pre-rework, most interactions with the Cyclone where you lose your Oracle or the cyclone is useless. While right now, there's a lot of interactions that can kind of go two ways. Like sometimes it's very fun for the Protoss, sometimes it's not. It's kind of micro-dependent. You can disengage as both sides, which I think is generally good design. Just playing Blink. Look at this. Always gotta give them more hope, because then they continue going in, right? Makes it easier to deal with it. So the longer you wait with responding, the easier it actually gets for you. Like, as long as you're actually there to respond. If you're not there to respond, then that's really bad. But I was here to respond, and now I'm in a pretty decent spot. But the particular build order that he was doing, it feels very powerful, especially against Stargate openers. Is what I've noticed. I think his opener is honestly just too bad though now. He's gonna go into mech. +2. See if we can attack this from a distance. I know you have cyclones. There's a tank up there. You can, whenever you play against mech, by the way, especially if they're starting to camp, what you want to do is you want to have full control of the map with pylons and then just keep expanding. And whenever your opponent moves out, you just base trade. If you're afraid you can't fight it. If you can't fight it, you just fight them, obviously. But if you're afraid of fighting your opponent, you just base trade. And then because you have more production and you have better eco and more bases, it's easier for you to kill your opponent's bases than vice versa. Vice versa? Vice versa. Vice versa. That's the correct pronunciation there. Oh. So yeah, this is why you have the pylons around the map. So that you have a little bit of control, you know when things are coming to you, towards you. And what I can do right now is I can... First of all, clear these guys. It's just start trading, basically. This is something you can almost always do. It can be a little bit scary, and sometimes if you're 5 base, maybe it's better to also tech behind it. Oh, did I just mess this up? I think I might have. Heal. Oh, I don't want to show that. Okay, this guy's going in. Yeah, this trade is probably going to be very good for me. Multiple reasons. One, any trade is probably going to be very good for me because I have much more income, and at the same time I'm also in the main base and I got more units, so it's a pretty free win for me. Very nice. Very nice indeed, my friends. Ain't that something? Oceanborn up next. Probably ready. Colossus range is fixed, yeah. Why not observers around the map instead of pylons? 2 reasons. Good question, actually. Actually, let's see if chat knows how to answer this. Why would I build pylons around the map instead of observers? I'm curious if chat knows the answers. Be specific though, not one-word answers. You know, maybe half a sentence or so. I think you can probably say it there. There's multiple reasons, but any reasons, let's see if we can get the correct ones out of chat. I'm actually very curious. Sadly, because today I'm streaming with a delay, it's going to be a while until I see all of these. You know, they added 30 seconds, because I was planning on casting the Masters Colosseum for quite some time. I like that question. It's a question that maybe the answer, like in a lot of cases, you probably want to prefer observers. But against mech, pylons in particular are very good. Although a lot of the times, even against bio, you like having pylons around the map. Okay, I see a lot of correct answers here. So I'm seeing if you use, obviously they cost gas, which is a resource that you probably want to invest in other things, because you're most of the time, it's not always the case, most of the time you're playing low gas initially against mech because you want to expand quickly, and gas stops you from expanding quickly. So a good reason is because you don't want to invest gas into that, and you don't want to take extra assimilators, because then you're delaying your mineral eco more and further. Second reason is robotics facility time. If you have a robotics facility, you probably want it to be building other things, whether that's going to be Colossus, Disruptors, Immortals, or Prisms. These are most of the time the units that you want to be producing. You don't really want to be spending your time building observers, because it makes your army much, much worse. Now, the reason why usually observers are very good as well is because pylons tend to be quite vulnerable. If you think of how Terran moves on the map with a bio army, it becomes very difficult for your pylons to stay alive. They can't defend themselves, they're not super strong, and Protoss doesn't have map control, so can't be out on the map defending them. So you're, most of the time against bio, when you're using them as drop spotters. When you're using them against mech, you're using them kind of close to your opponent's base on paths, because you're trying to scout where harassment is coming from. Now, the harassment units with mech are most of the time Hellions, because it's not a very big investment. Oh, come on, piss off. What? Why is it on the wrong side? Well, whatever. And Hellions can't kill pylons quickly. So also pylons are really quite safe. Usually observers are the only ones that are safe, because they can't be seen. So people often don't kill them. And they can be in dead spaces, which is a huge benefit against drops. But drops are not much of an issue when you're fighting against mech. So robo time, they don't cost gas. They provide you something in supply. It's not a great argument, but I'll count it as good as well. And then, of course, they can't really be killed unless there's a real move out. Now, funnily enough, post-patch, it might actually be a bit easier for Terran to take him out. What is this crap? Oh, this scares me. What if this is like a 4 Marine into 2 Cyclone push? That would be hilarious. As in, but not very fun. Like a reactor first. Was this reactor first? Oh, this is exactly what it is. This maybe was also a mistake. Oh, this definitely was a mistake, wasn't it? Mate, you don't have enough range. Good attempt though. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. There you go, bud. You know what's the scariest thing here? Is that I know 2 more Cyclones most likely are about to show up. It actually does scare me a bit. But they're kind of weak as well at the same time, so it doesn't scare me a crazy amount. See if we can move on the map. Did I not start Warp Gate? No, I did. Just gonna lift this. We actually don't have enough energy. It was a good start for me. If he doesn't have a follow-up attack, this was a fine start, actually. Absolutely. I need to keep in mind that Cyclones can come so fast now, and in 2s. Like if he pulls some SCVs with something like that, that actually has some real potential to just straight up kill me, honestly. Because I hardly have any DPS. So I'm just relying exclusively basically on lifts. I'm a good lifter though. A massive lifter. Let me see what you guys have to say. Discord. We have like legit zero information, which is cool. The less information, the better. People say knowledge is power, but people also say power is power. And right now I have power. Third CC. Back again. See, it's way easier to disengage against these guys, which feels good for me. It's a few Marines, but yeah, it's wait, it's biomech. I don't know what this is. Looks freaking garbage though. Attack maybe? I don't actually know what I want. Don't actually know what I want. It cost 125. It's the price of a stalker, a cyclone now. 125.50. It's also about as good as a stalker. Nah, it's not true. It's better in certain scenarios, much worse in others. So he has Stim. You think he can do this? No shot. He had quite a few cyclones. He also had a 3rd CC. Surprised me how quick that was. There we go. I left a lot of units. I think I'm just walking over them, no? Seems to be the case. Adios, Monsieur Cyclone. GG. Yeah, Protoss is very powerful. Thank you, by the way, cut persist for another 130 sec. I'm not sure if I called it out already. I think I did, but in case I missed it earlier. Appreciate it. Have you managed to do any mothership stuff yet against Terran? No, not yet. You want me to try? Sorry, you can watch my stream on YouTube. Not in lobby. Okay. Next game. I'll play one more, then we'll go back into the tournament mode, okay? That is the wrong map. Ecade Solaris, maybe? That sounds like fun. Scoreline? Well, so far we're 2-0, but so far his builds also haven't been great. Why does Protoss seem like it has a chance early versus Terran shenanigans? Well, this Terran has been playing mainly Cyclone builds as well. And the Cyclone builds, I think, are still not completely figured out on how to execute them, and maybe they're just not good enough. It's possible that Cyclones will get a buff. Like a tiny one, somewhere. So it's possible they get reworked. We'll need to see. Need some Tempest? You want to see Tempest against Terran? We could do some Tempest. We could actually do some Tempest. Should we just go straight Tempest? Even skip the Oracle here? You would like that, wouldn't you? It's a cheeky little Tempest rush. Hey there, could you tell me what is going on with this 7k Russian GM? Oh, he's a hacker. Or a cheater. I don't think he... Yeah, I think he map hacks as well, honestly. But... So there's a 7... For people that are not aware, which is most people. There's a very high-level Grandmaster player on the ladder. Who, whenever you play against him, he has a script that somehow, some way makes the APM very high and simultaneously starts lagging the game. So if you want to beat him, what you need to do is you need to spend like an hour and a half killing his command center that he has and that he floats to the corner at the start of the game. So it takes about an hour and a half, and because this guy has absolutely no life, most people value their time more worthwhile than the time of the Russian hacker. So yeah. The Blizzard dudes are aware of it, and I think serious action is being taken. But we'll see. I wish companies would actually start suing hackers or people that create hacks. That would be such a huge thing. Like, make the deterrent so much bigger. I really don't think you have to do it too many times to kill a lot of the hacks. But like, imagine if there, it's possible that you're gonna get like fined like 150 grand or you go to jail or something. Not sure if that's possible. I guess it's not criminal but civil, so I guess you can't really go to jail. Not sure how that would work. And I guess the jurisdiction stuff is going to be difficult as well. I wish it was possible though. I wish it were possible. Honest to God. Freaking hate hackers so much. But yeah, the Blizzard dudes are aware of it and they're actually figuring it out. So this guy's been here before and has hacked before as well. So it's not like this is a first time thing, you know? What did he play?
Give us your command.
You have not enough minerals.
Combat.
I don't actually know what he's playing. I bet he has a Reaper. I'm just gonna keep this at home for now. Oh, what is this? Oh. This actually looks kind of scary. Uh-oh. This is why I don't listen to you guys for strategic advice. Unbelievable. One time I follow up what you guys tell me to do. What do I get? Freaking loss right away. I guess I should have scouted. Maybe this is partially on me.
I am here in the shadows.
Prick. This hit like a freaking truck though, holy crap. Fleet Beacon, Shield, Tempest. Check on my channel. It is there. Under live. Alright. I'm done for now. I'm gonna... I just messaged at him. I'm not actually done for now. I'm gonna watch some of the other game. Cure versus Ryung that's going on currently. This game 1 was a banger apparently. I don't want to miss out on the rest. Jeez. There we go. Sounds like a build for the cheesiest man alive. Honestly, I am gonna play the ever-living crap out of Cyclone on lanes. Oh, I can't wait for it. Once it hits the ladder, my friends, I'm going to be having such a great time. What is the last anime you've seen? I don't think I've... Probably Pokemon when I was like 10 or so. But I'm not even sure if it's an anime. Is it? It probably counts as one, huh? I think it probably counts as one. Okay. Let's get this show on the road again with the... Cure versus Ryung. Alright, TVT. We missed the early game, and we also missed game number 1. And it's also lagging. Yeah. Let's go a little bit back in time, so the lag isn't as severe. Let's have a look what's kicking off. Now, ooh, is that Mac? Yeah, it's definitely Mac. Ryung is a Macking boy. Yeah, I'm not sure what to think of people that play Mac. I hate playing against them, but I enjoy watching them generally as a rule. Oh, he's just laggy on this exact moment. That's hilarious. I remember you saying a while back that you said you wanted the role of the Cyclone to be tweaked. Was this not the change that you wanted? No, this was, well, not entirely what I would have. I just wanted it tweaked. I just knew with the Cyclone I wanted different. Sometimes I'm not quite sure what I want. I think generally it's not very good if a unit has a very specific purpose. I'd rather have that a unit has like basically a range of possibilities. Like a pretty large range of possibilities. And then people can kind of figure out how they like to use it. So in multiple ways you can use it still. Like right now the Cyclone in the upcoming proposed balance changes, it can still be a defensive unit, but you can also use it aggressively very nicely. You can use it as a core unit. It just has way more uses. And I think it's good if a unit can be used in multiple ways. It can even be used as a harassment unit with Hellions, which is kind of cool. Like, I think generally that is what you want. If you have every unit that kind of has a very specific niche, it's like, oh, against an Oracle, I would love to have a Cyclone. Then you also make these units a lot more all-in a way. And the interactions between these units are not so interesting. It's like, oh, the Cyclone counters the Oracle. Like, that's not cool. Now, after the proposed balance changes, the Cyclone could kill an Oracle, but it could also that the Oracle flies away. It's possible. Like, I think that is generally better game design. Whether the numbers currently are correct, you know, whether it's tweaked properly, I don't know about that. This game is over, by the way, most likely. As Curious is walking over his opponent. It's really difficult that if you get broken once as a Terran player when you're playing mech, to then restabilize. Because you just don't have the force and you're just getting ping-ponged between bases. So, well, actually, this, what we're currently watching, well, this is over. I'll just quickly turn this away. Oh, once again, the loud music comes out. Need to just immediately pop it away. We'll continue with just the Masters Colosseum for now, as the next series will be Zerg versus Zerg. I think it's DRG versus Dark, which is actually kind of interesting. And then the final game of the day will be Cure versus Cyan. I don't think that is super interesting. I do think that Dark versus DRG is cool, though. I genuinely do believe that to be a cool little series. You skipped work to watch this? Bad decision. So this is not a good decision, my friend. Unless your work is very boring, then it's a fine decision. Generally, I don't recommend people skip work to watch my streams. Because my streams you can watch back later as well. You know, and you're more relaxed if you're not at work. Can have a good time. Yeah, so this is the next upcoming matches. Let's have a look. There we go. DRG versus Dark, Cyan versus Cure. But yeah, not great. Harstem, what is your opinion on making Broodlords not collide with other units? I don't like it, because I think unit collision in general is good to have. I think games that don't have it, or where it doesn't work well, are usually not very fun to play. It would also just look very weird, in my opinion, if it could just move through. I don't think it's great. I'm not a fan, actually. No, I'm not a fan at all. I think it is. I think we already have some ugly fixes for problems. I think that would be the ugliest fix of all. Like, legitimately the ugliest fix. This is another thing that you need to keep in mind when you're tweaking things, is that it's very easy to fix stuff if you don't care about anything else. Or, well, easy. It is doable to fix stuff if you don't care about anything else. But you also have to keep other things in mind. Like how it plays. And so at some point, I came with a suggestion to have like multiple modes of a Colossus, basically, where you could have it do extra damage to light in like its normal mode, and then with an upgrade, you can make it better versus units that are armored or just have no armor type, you know, or like don't have light or something like that. They're just against all. But then you just have, you need like animations for all of those things. It also, the Colossus would work completely different from what it does right now. It brings a whole host of other problems that are difficult to fix in the current position. And also it's kind of an ugly solution. Like a very ugly solution. Having different modes on one unit, I think is not so interesting. Make it so that immortals could shoot up like Thor's. I don't actually think it would be too good. I think it would be good. I don't think it would be too good. It would just be powerful and like nice in some situations. But because the range is so small, I legit don't think it actually matters that much. I want observers to be able to explode and damage air units like flying banelings. In Brood Warrior, and also in StarCraft 2 co-op, you have the Scourge that is capable of doing just that. I would think a mobile shield battery would be cool, but probably impossible to balance and are justify building. I think some of the co-op commanders have a sentry that can heal other Protoss units. I mean, it's just like a medic, basically, right? A battery is just a medic that is a static structure. So I don't think it is impossible to balance around it, but the way that StarCraft has been designed is usually with asymmetrical balance. So you don't want all races to just have a medic unit, basically. That is, I think, the philosophy. I also don't think it's necessary for Protoss. They already have the shield regeneration by itself, which is kind of cool. Would you make a part 2 for the farm videos? You mean the one where I visit goats and walk around with them? I went to a petting zoo the other day, actually. And I interacted with goats again. My dream is to eventually move to a place where I can have a plot of land and have goats walking around. I think goats are legitimately the coolest animals in the world. And they could just be there. You know, just run around with the goats in the morning, run around with the goats at night. That type of stuff. Protect them from the nasty wolves. I'm a huge fan of goats. Huge fan of them. Whose fans benefit most from the patch changes? Taylor Swift or Bob Dylan? I bet the average Bob Dylan fan doesn't know how a computer works because they're probably above 85 years old. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that most likely Taylor Swift fans, they gain more from the patch. How about giving Colossus damage reduction versus ground damage? What does that mean? Damage reduction versus ground damage? So ground units would deal less damage to them. I think Colossus would be way too strong then. You just get like 10. Then you just have people waiting for Vikings before they want to interact with Colossus. So you make the game more boring. Vikings... Being forced into Vikings makes games more boring because there's less likely that it's going to be multitasked. So once again, the more specific you make a counter or a unit be counterable, like the more boring it tends to become. Ideally, there is multiple playstyles that can work against the same thing so that different people have different responses. Like that is an absolute dream scenario, right? In which, like right now, in TVP, this is actually kind of the case. So you have people that when they scout Colossus, they'll play 2 E-base, armory, start popping out a lot of medevacs, and split 2 armies around the map. And then just kind of base trade whenever the Colossus player moves out. However, at high level, this is at high level, you also have players that just after 4 or 6 medevacs, stop building medevacs, start producing Vikings and Ghosts, and then do a bit of a timing attack. Now, I think it's cool that you have 2 different solutions to that problem of the Colossus, right? I think that is a good thing. I think it is a bad interaction if the moment Colossus are out, a player is, you know... you want the tree to be more complex. It's like, rather than just being like, if there's Colossus, go to A. You want it to be like, if there's Colossus, go to A, B, C, or D. And then from there on out, you can make other decisions again. I think that is that tends to make for more fun gameplay. Look at this, me covering this thing. Done. I think Protoss carriers need the Gantry Tor move and steer on with collision course with enemy buildings. I don't think so. Also, I think the new patch forgot about Swarm Host. It's maybe even true. Like, there's not a whole lot. It's probably one of the least used units at the moment. The problem with the Swarm Host is that when the Swarm Host is good, the game becomes awful. Like, free unit producers almost always produce terrible games. Like, it is still a miracle to me how the Blizzard team of 2012 looked at Broodlord Infestor and thought to themselves, what we really need is another unit that produces free units till eternity. And then came up with the Swarm Host. Like, free unit producing just tends to not be fun if there's no downside to it at all. Like, even the carrier in a way is kind of uninteresting. And interceptors aren't free, but it's still kind of uninteresting. It just feels like killing those units, like the mini units, isn't so big, you know? Like, when is the last time you've seen anyone go, oh my god, he sniped 5 interceptors? It's like, never. Like, if you kill all interceptors, that's nice, but you're not even targeting them. They just die. It's like, and it's the same with Broodlings. It's like, oh my god, huge snipe on the 3 Broodlings. It's like, no, like, that doesn't happen. Just creates super boring gameplay most of the time, free units. This is a Link Flood, by the way, that we're seeing out of Dark. And DRG is scouting this, is playing 2 base, and is now going to wall, hopefully in time. Is he locked outside? Yeah, he messed it up. This is still not over, is it? Ah, he's now too late. I think he's dead. Actually messed up his wall initially. That kind of cost him this game. Oh, ZVZ must be fun to play. Good lord. Actually ridiculous. Why not increase the Oracle damage a little? Oracle is probably the best unit that Protoss has right now. I have no clue how we got the Stasis Ward buff, but that is already a miracle to me. At Hive Tech, give Swarmhost some love. Also allow Overlords to consume all loaded units for an AoE explosive damage. What? These are all very wild suggestions. But yeah, I think if you want to make the Swarmhost better, you want it to be at Hive, but then you probably can't use it. It needs to be a late game unit. Having late game units with power that produce free units is always going to be an issue. So you see where the solution there isn't simple. I wonder if there's anything you can do with free units that would make it fun. I don't think so. Infested Terrans were awful. Broodlings were awful. Locusts are terrible to watch. Interceptors aren't fun. Like, there's literally not a single free unit that is interesting or fun that I think is good, that really improved the game. Never in my life have I thought of a Broodling as being a unit that provided fun games. Not even once. The same with the Locust. It just tends to not do that. PT should be able to fly for short distances. Like a Reaper. Just like jump on top of cliffs. That would be fun. I'd like that. Even as just an upgrade. I'd buy it. Make Swarmhouse like Reavers. So you have to buy the bullet and then shoot. Then it's just a completely different unit. I mean, I'm down for a unit rework, but in its current form, making the Swarmhouse the unit that is fun and balanced, I think is very difficult. So I think in general, everyone in the Balance Council doesn't necessarily want to rework every unit though. I think The Cyclone is a nice test case. It's very difficult if you completely rework a unit, because you might overlook things in scenarios. And if you're actively playing tournaments at the same time, it is kind of scary. What would you do with Brute Lords? What would I do? I freaking remove the Brutelings. Single shot damage from long range. Slightly quicker. It's a better concept than Brutelings. Brutelings, it's not fun. It's really not fun. It's very frustrating to play against it. Being blocked by Brutelings and being forced to always have your Brutelings out is like a... I don't know, I don't think it's good. Free units tend to just not work in StarCraft 2. The Broodlings from buildings are fun. I agree. I think that is somewhat interesting. But there's a huge, you know, downside to that. Because you lose a building. But yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Then it'll be the Guardian. Yeah, correct. Oh, now it's DRG who's going for an all-in. 14 Ling flood into a Baneling nest. God, you hate to see this stuff. CVZ at high level tends to be a very boring matchup or way too aggressive. I'm not super interested often in seeing people just zergling all in each other. This is a nice wall. 2 Banelings moving in. Do you want to use them on the wall? I don't think you actually do. We have a rewall here coming out as well. Queen now moving in position. I think this is just a hold, no? What a nice hold here. Yep, that's over. 23 workers to 17. I think you can even cancel these evos, to be quite honest. I think I would. I think you cancel both evos here. It's gonna finish. Wow. It's kind of wild. I guess he didn't want to accidentally lose. I think he could have cancelled. Maybe he couldn't. I trust Dark's judgment more than my own judgment, so Dark probably made the correct call. No third base for DRG. It's down 6 workers currently. There's also double evos already available. Actually, there's 4 evos available right now. Carapace first for Dark. Maybe goes for the Carapace all in off of this. It's going to be up in stuff for quite a while. I wonder what DRG is supposed to do. Okay, it's going to be 1-1 melee. Oh, sorry, 1-1 links. Almost feels like Dark is kind of giving DRG an opportunity to come back here. You know what I mean? It's like, if you look at this... Oh my god, that was not good by DRG. Losing a Bane for free there. Like, if you look at this, I think Dark was in a superior position. And now he's going to play 1-1 Ling. If you just play +1 Roaches against this defensively... DRG is going to have a quicker third base. This might actually be playable. It might actually be playable. It's going to be hard, but it might actually be playable. Which is scary to think about. Link's now moving around. Will not get the kill on this hatchery. Because there's also defensive Banelings already. Oh my god, he just wasted a Baneling into nothing. That's bad. These Banelings being targeted down. If DRG loses this third... I think the game might actually be over anyway. Lots of links around on the map for DRG. Can he defend this? I don't actually think so. There's simply not enough out on the map. Hatcheries get taken out as well. And that means that Dark is in a pretty decent spot. Not necessarily... hasn't won yet. He's throwing down a Roach Warren behind this. I thought he might go for like a lair and then 2-2 links. But he's actually getting range upgrades here. Wants to continue fighting. Here we go. Does have the carapace upgrade, let's not forget. So these banelings are not going to hurt his links quite as much. There's not enough links for Dark though. Where are they? I don't quite understand. Once again, a cancel on that third base is kind of a big deal. Dark now heading back home with his own links as he's up a base. He's going to be up in upgrades by quite a bit. Up in workers. Up in absolutely everything. This is not a fight that DRG can win with these queens around. Most definitely not. Oh, DRG making some mistakes over here. Losing a lot of links. 90 supply to 70. Drones trying to be targeted down, but I think there's too much defensively here right now for Dark. We have Glio Reconstitution starting on Dark side first as well. Like, Dark literally is up in everything except the +1 range upgrade. I'm not even sure how much that is going to matter. Dark is producing a lot of roaches at the moment. Starts +2 carapace as well. Still has that third evo too. OV gets taken out there as well. Dark is just making sure there's no Spire going down or something. It's like, if nothing weird happens in this game, Dark should just be capable of winning with a timing later on. But I'm not so sure about that. $130 supply to 100. It's just going to be rough. 78 army supply to 49. Drone count pretty even. If DRG manages to hold this, that would be big. But I don't think he's going to be capable of holding it. Roach count might be even. Links now move in as well. Both things at the same time. Links in the third base of Dark. Links in the main base of DRG. I think the supply difference is too big. GG gets caught. Oh my god. I was so fast there with the mute. That's insane. Stark wins. Alright. Very cool stuff. Final match will be Cure versus Cyan, but I am off for now. I'm sorry, my dear friends. I hope you all enjoyed today's stream. I will be back for a longer time tomorrow, I think. And a bit earlier as well. This tournament will continue over the next 5-6 days. And I'm going to be here majority of the time. I won't be doing entire days, as I've mentioned before, but I'll be doing games that I find fun, games that are interesting, or games that have my friends in them. So, yeah, we'll be back then. I hope you all had a good time. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel as well. Another video is coming out tonight. What it is going to be, I'm not entirely sure yet, but it's going to be a little bit later. Today was a busy day for me. So, tomorrow, videos will be out again on time, but for today it's a little bit later. My apologies for that. All right, I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.